Good morning and welcome back to Tabletop Tuesday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we are going to take a quick look at Ticket to Ride Ghost Train, part of the First Journey series. So, what is Ticket to Ride First Journey? It is a modification of the actual Ticket to Ride rules designed for younger players, typically those 6 and up. And kind of didn't notice that when I purchased the game, but we decided to get it anyways because my wife really loved the theme. So today I want to just give a quick overview on how the game plays differently than basic Ticket to Ride, and then also give my thoughts on how the game itself plays. But before we get started on that, do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, from board games, card games, miniatures, role-playing, honestly, anything to do with tabletop gaming. And love for you to come along to see what I have to share. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing that I want to show or want to talk about is the setup, because it does play a little bit differently. So every player is going to get a selection of, in this case, they're called haunted carriages, because you are setting up a Halloween parade. Each player is then also given 4 float cards. So these are the train cards, and you're just given 4 randomly. So in this case, I'm just going to pull off the top of the deck. They have the standard colors: red, blue, green, orange, yellow, black. There are 6 different colors. And then each player is just given 2 ticket cards. So just like in regular Ticket to Ride, it's going to show you the 2 destinations that you need to connect, and approximately where they are on the map. Now, what really makes this different is that instead of, this is basically set up for the game. Instead of setting up a line of train cars that you already know what they are, everything is just left in the pile. And so on your turn, you have 2 choices. You can either draw 2 cards from the top of the deck and you just put them straight into your hand, or you can play cards from your hand. So we'll play 2. Whoop, put them too far out of the camera. 2 blue ones, and I can put my trains onto the board. Okay, so it just keeps it very, very simple. Those are the 2 actions that you can take on your turn. As soon as you complete a ticket, you put it face up in front of you, and then you draw a new ticket. If for some reason you cannot complete that ticket, then you go ahead and discard it and draw a new one right away. Okay? So it's really, really kept simple and pretty much just to the core mechanics of Ticket to Ride. Now, they do a couple of different things that I liked. So in this case, let's zoom in here. If you connect 1 location on the seashore and 1 location in the forest, then you get to take one of these cards. And at the end of the game, this is worth 2 tickets. The game doesn't play for points. You are literally just trying to be the first person to complete 6 tickets. First person to do so wins the game. So you'll have those. And then the other special option is, let me move stuff out of the way to bring in the board on my infamously small work table. All right, so you have the town hall. As you can notice, it's marked with a clock tower. And then on opposite corners, you have another clock tower on the crypt and one on the haunted mansion. And if you ever connect the town hall to the haunted mansion or the crypt, then you get to draw 2 float cards and add them to your hand. But at the end of the day, that's all you need to play Ticket to Ride Ghost Train. So, we finally got it to the table a couple of weeks ago. And honestly, I wasn't sure about it. A friend of ours was coming over to play games, and she has a 6-year-old daughter. And we do try to play a couple of small games that she might enjoy before we actually start playing the grown-up games. And first off, I have to say, one of the cutest reactions is she absolutely loved the way it looked. She kept saying, "Oh, I love scary things. I love spooky things." I mean, let's be honest, scary for a 6-year-old. But it was really cute. So obviously the art styling, the kind of spooky little aspect to it, she didn't mind. Obviously, every kid is different, but it was still fun to see that, she really gravitated to the particular theme. Now, we ended up playing myself, my wife, another friend of ours who's an adult, and then the 6-year-old and her mom. And basically the 6-year-old and the mom kind of played together. At first, I was thinking that the 6-year-old might need help from the mom. And mom did give some hints from time to time. But for the most part, the 6-year-old picked it up and she was able to handle it on her own. But what I was actually kind of surprised about is I enjoyed the game myself. It was a streamlined, a little bit easier to play version of Ticket to Ride, but you're still having to make those tactical decisions as far as what routes are you going to take? What do you do when somebody blocks you? Is it still possible to complete the route that you're going for? Do you have enough trains? All of those things still went into my head, and at the end of the day, the 6-year-old still won. So, I mean, I definitely was not ready for that. Versus 3 adults, I figured the 6-year-old was going to get pretty roundly trounced, but in reality, she did fantastically. And so, if you want a fun game for your kids, that you can still play with them. That's one of the key things that I look for is, can I as a grown-up play with the little people? In this case, Ticket to Ride Ghost Train fits that bill perfectly, and I absolutely recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy it. Alternatively, if you don't necessarily like the theme, I know there are a couple of other First Journey editions out there. The rules should be pretty similar. Definitely give those a look if you're looking for an alternative. So, with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time. I do have links down for social media, for Facebook and Twitter, if that is one way you like to get announcements that new videos are out. Would love to have you following us there. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.